So you sacrifice watching a bunch of dudes who are sweaty wrestling around in a mat.
I'm gay like that, dude. I'm gay like that. If you want me to fucking say it, I'm gay like that. Okay, well, welcome back to the Weather Report. We're waiting for everybody to kind of slip in here on the from the other side, and hopefully they get here pretty quickly. I know that Jason wanted to share something with us, and then we cut him off a little bit early, so we will see him here. And there's Jason and John. We'll let John in. Jason makes him.
I just put him in.
There he is. There he is.
I'm still in the old one too. Wait, I'm still at 91% on my.
Yeah, it's okay. If you got another tab open, it'll be all right. It'll
no problem. No problem.
Your mic got real quiet when you came back in, John.
Yeah, can you bring up your gain a little bit?
Is that better?
Yeah, there we go.
I'm up there.
John, I've got a report. We're breaking news here. So after we talked, I sent James Whitfield a note. I haven't talked to him in like a year and a half. And so he gave me his contact info, and I'll forward that on to you. He's actually launching the social media platform next Tuesday. So this is like fresh.
Wow.
And he's been pretty good at this stuff. He's been at it consistently for, well over a decade now. But I'll get that to you, Bruce, and if you can get that to John, that information.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
And check into it, make sure it's something that you'd want to have. I'm not saying you got to do it, but James has been really good, and he's helped an awful lot of people get out of the mess that he was in. So I just thought it'd be cool. It was right up the alley what you were talking about doing. So same kind of guests like you've been having.
That's perfect. Yeah, appreciate that.
So John, some of us, like I said, we all have our own businesses and stuff like that. And me and you share business in a probiotics and plant-based supplements company. And it's called Plexus Worldwide. I'm just going to go ahead and say it right out that's what we do. And that's how I met you. I stalked you forever, and and finally got to meet him through Facebook. And actually, what he did was, I mean, at the time it was unique because what he was doing is he was actually just flashing his product, into Facebook and stuff like that, and getting reactions for it. Like I said, I had just started listening to Lions of Liberty, and for some reason, me and John kind of hit it off. I kept kind of prodding him, going like, okay, what's this pink drink, and how can I get into this group, and blah blah blah. Finally he I think he just got tired and didn't want me to show up at his doorstep, so he answered me.
I don't think that's exactly accurate, but yeah.
I know.
It's okay. We all thought it at one point, John. It's all right. Like, okay, Bruce. Okay, we just say yes to Bruce so he doesn't come knocking on our door.
But my testimony is very, very simple with the plant-based supplements and probiotics and gut health as it appears, because that's what me and John talk about all the time when we really get together and talk on the other side with another podcast that I used to do called the In the Pit of My Stomach, and I have a group on Facebook that also deals with that. So what I wanted to share with John and me and him share with the group was the importance of gut health, the importance of our health, and where that lies in our health and wellness. I mean, without kind of peddling our wares and stuff like that, I just wanted to. I think it's important that not only in the liberty sense, but in the survival sense and everything that you do, you have to be healthy in your lifestyle, because if you're not healthy in your lifestyle, you're not going to go anywhere, and you're not going to be helping anybody. And I've been through the journey. John's been through the journey. And where are you at in that journey, John? Because me and you, like I said, we had just ended a 18-day challenge where we challenged each other and were accountable to each other about doing certain things, and it went together pretty well. I mean, most of these things that we do in the group go fairly well, and I think it's really pivotal in some people's lives to go ahead and do something like that.
I guess where I'm at right now in my health journey is I hurt my back. that's where I am right now. But
yeah,
no, yeah, I mean. I've always been, someone that has cared about health, but used to do a lot of things to shoot myself in the foot, I guess, without knowing it, which I think is pretty common, especially since there's so much wrong information out there, especially fed to us from our overlords at the FDA and these different government agencies. But growing
They
up,
know best, so we just need to say
Of course, they know best.
everything that they say is safe and effective, and it's the best according to all science and literature.
Sugar,
I went to
Yeah, sugar's the other white meat. That's
exactly. I went to the food pyramid, and all I got was this type 2 diabetes and the size 5XL shirt.
yeah. We can see that shirt on right now.
yeah, and I mean, speaking of the food pyramid, like I
Thanks,
grew
Chris.
up, my mom was a health teacher, so it was like food pyramid. That's what we got to do. I mean, because she was teaching from the book, so we ate, all the carbs and everything. And I was an active kid, so I didn't really gain too much weight. It wasn't that bad on me. Plus, food wasn't as bad. This is in the late 80s and the 90s. Food wasn't as bad then as it is now. Like, things have really gotten worse from a processed food standpoint. But
Yep.
like just
Absolutely.
real quick, like I guess what happened with my health journey, I kind of hate using that term journey for anything, but it always kind of creeps its way in there.
Yeah. Just don't stop believing.
Don't stop believing. Don't do it.
Like when I stopped being as active after college, and you start working and you start sitting around on the couch more, but you keep drinking all the beer and you keep eating everything you were eating. I still worked out, but like I just kept gaining weight. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'5", so I can hide it pretty well. But I got pretty big, up to like 250, maybe a little north of that. And I really didn't have an answer, and I couldn't really figure out how to get my weight down. And I was to the point where I used to run a little bit. Like, I didn't run marathons or anything, but I used to at least get on the treadmill, run a couple miles. But like, I didn't even feel like I could do that. I had no energy, felt like crap. The energy was a real problem. And I think this is pretty common, just based on how much coffee people drink. But I used to work in a place where they had, a automatic coffee machine where you could get a cup of coffee, you didn't have to pay for it as often as you wanted. And I would drink, no joke, like 6, I guess they're actually like double cups, like 2 cups of coffee each time. I would drink like 6 of those a day.
That's
and
it?
I would it's a lot of coffee. It's not good for you. It's bad for your adrenals.
I usually do about 2 pots of coffee a day.
Yeah, it's probably about the same then. I mean, I was probably in the same.
It's a lot better than lot better back in my days when I worked in Minneapolis, and I used to drink 2 pots of coffee plus about 5 or 6 energy drinks a day. And but I'm surprised my heart didn't blow up. But
Holy fuck, dude.
yeah,
That's a lot. I remember whenever I was in Iraq, we would drink Rippets like nonstop. I don't know if you guys ever know Rippet. It's like it's an energy drink, and they used to just give them to us. Like, you want here's a case, and like we can get as many as we want for free. And they were almost poison, but they tasted way better than Monster did. And this is back 2006, 2007. But Rippets, they were only over there. They're like some small company that had like an exclusive contract with the army or something. And whenever I came back, you could only really find them at like the shitty corner store Sit-Goes. You know what I'm saying? Like the janky Sit-Goes and stuff. You could only ever find them there. Like, still to this day, you can find them, but now they have the tall 24-ounce ones. We used to only have like the small ones, and they had like the orange one was my favorite. But dude, man, we would drink those so much we would piss Rippet. Like it was like that movie. What's that movie? Role Models with shit. Nobody's seen the movie Role Models?
We're not millennials. We're not millennials.
No, but
anything after Dazed and Confused, I don't know what you're talking about.
You are Dazed and Confused.
What?
Yeah. There's a story behind my whole Monster stuff or energy drink, and I'll tell you guys some other day. But yeah, sorry to interrupt, John.
Go ahead, John.
I used to drink Monsters too. I remember the first time I had a 5-hour energy drink. I was in Vegas, and I thought my heart was going to explode.
That's me, dude. Before I met you, I was living on 5-hour energy drinks just to get home from work. I would be my whole day would be, by the time 3:00 rolled around, I was doing the jello neck head bobs at my desk. And finally 4:00 would hit, man. I'd hit that car, man, get in my car and be on my way home. By halfway home, there I am doing the jello neck head bobs again. And it got to the point where I was getting, going at lunchtime, eating my lunch, taking a nap in the car. Oh, I got to go to the store and go get some 5-hour energy drink so I can get through the day. And let me tell you, I haven't had one in, how long has I been on the program now? 4 years, I think it's been.
4 years sober. There you go. Do you guys give out coins for that?
It'd be nice to get Bitcoins for that.
Yeah, Bitcoin. You give out Bitcoins for that, right?
I've been buying Bitcoin with all the money that I've been saving by not buying 5-hour energy drinks.
There you go.
Could have afforded to give out a Bitcoin for that maybe 10 years ago, but
yeah,
that's it.
That's one way to do it, though, Bruce. I mean, if you take your habit and you quit the habit, you put your money into something else. Like my dad and stepmom, they used to drink all the time, and then when they stopped drinking, instead of buying a case of beer or whatever, they go buy a couple of movies. And let's just say they got a Blockbuster inside their fucking house of DVDs. Of VHSs. And then once everything started converting to DVDs, they just went out and bought everything they had in VHS in DVD, and then all the new stuff as well too.
We all did that. We all did that.
Yeah, but I mean, they got a ton. Like these they must have been drinking a lot because they started buying a lot of movies. That's all I gotta say is they start buying a lot of movies.
let's talk about what that does to our health, John, and what that really gets down to the nitty gritty when your body starts going south on you, like mine. And mine has to do with age and stuff like that.
When
but
you're 105, you can't be acting like you're 24 anymore.
I'll give you a short synopsis of what my testimony is that back when I was about right after I got out of the service, I started experiencing acid reflux, and it got pretty serious, in my mid-20s. And what had happened was that I started going to the doctor. I started having that whatever is herniated, whatever it is up here in your esophagus, and it was just rotted away is basically what it was. So it wasn't holding the acid down in my stomach. Fast forward a couple years later, after some medication, it got better, so I stopped taking the medication. Got married when I was 30, and then like I said, did some time after that, and it's another story. But after when I got out of being incarcerated, it started up again, and went back on the medication, and that seemed to stop it. So got off the medication. Fast forward into my 40s, started getting onto the medication again, or started getting the reflux again.
That was right around
at this time. What I was doing is Nexium had just come out. The little purple pill had just come out, so I just started popping Nexiums, and you're only supposed to take a Nexium for 14 days, and it felt so good to me, and everything was gone away, that I just kept doing Nexiums.
You're only supposed to take Nexium for 14 days?
14 days, and then you're supposed to be off for a month or two, and then you can start Nexium again.
Because what it does is it suppresses the stomach acid your body's making, but your body's thinking, well, I don't have enough stomach acid, so it just starts making more and more.
Right.
Oh,
right.
wow.
So I started back.
My kid's mom has been on Nexium for like 6 years.
So my system got so bad, I started taking Tums along with it. So I'm doubling back on Nexium every day and taking Tums to get to sleep, and still in the middle of the night, waking up straight up in bed, choking on, whatever was coming up through my throat, trying to get a breath. And it got so bad to the point to where when I drank water, I would get acid indigestion. So luckily I found John, and John just basically asked me, he says,
well, you didn't actually tell me anything about your acid reflux. I don't think.
No, I think it was,
you did.
Yeah, I think it was actually, I think because I did the challenge.
It was your toes. What you had in your toes.
Right. I did the challenge, but yeah, we were talking about, what is that? Candida or whatever it is.
Candida?
Yeah, Candida, which is
Candida.
Yeast. So yeah, our bodies are, we're supposed to have candida in our body. So when we die, it helps to break us down, helps to break down our bodies. But the problem is we eat so much sugar and crap and everything else that that feeds the candida out of control. So almost everyone has a candida overgrowth in their intestines to some degree. It just presents itself in very different ways. For me, it was chronic fatigue, and I couldn't lose weight. So when that got corrected, I got my energy back, and I was able to lose weight pretty easily.
Yeah, with me, what happened is that me and John started talking about, well, what kind of problems. He asked me what I had, and I'm like, yeah, well, I got these, I've got yeasty toes, I guess, whatever, moldy toes, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, it really got to a point where we started talking about acid reflux and that kind of digestional situations, and he started talking to me about the products that I'm on. And basically, to make a long story short, I did a 30-day trial right on Facebook Live every day. I started taking the supplements that I was taking now, and lo and behold, like 10 days into it, I started having no acid reflux at all. And 4 years into this now, I've had, I would say, 3 episodes where I had a little bit of bad indigestion, and that was it. And the reason why I did that was, number one, was probably not hydrated, and number two, just freaking eating too much. I mean, that's basically really what it came down to. And it was just very important to me, because what happened was whether the supplements, because the supplements, I believe, do help me. That's number one thing. I'm on a regimen that I do every day. I'm scared as hell to get off of it. But at the same token, it's given me the discipline to know, number one, that I'm drinking more. I'm drinking more water. Now I just basically drink water all day. Number two, I really do watch my diet, although I still eat the sugary snacks. I still have the salty stuff and stuff like that, but I've really, really, really cut down. And then I take, I make sure that I'm moving every day. I make sure that, I've got, probiotics, so it's all balanced in my guts and everything. And John has just convinced me that there is a system that happens between your gut and your brain that actually regulates everything that happens in your body. Excuse me, I just hit my mic, but yeah.
Well, your gut is your second brain.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yes, it is.
That comes directly from John.
Well, it's from a lot of people, but one thing that's really interesting about candida that I learned back in let's see, what was this, 2016 till 2018, I was a manager at Vitamin Shop here in Indiana, and when I learned a lot of stuff there. And about candida, it's very, very interesting, is that once it starts going out of proportion, that it spurs like an addiction almost. It was sugar, where you actually crave sugar more and more and more. Yep. And then that adds to your fatigue, but it also feeds the candida, and it starts going even crazier. It's like a never ending cycle. It's very, very interesting. You actually have to do like a candida cleanse plus a diet adjustment as well too, to you got to do hardcore to kill it all basically, and then start fresh and then maintain low levels of it after that. And it's really interesting because, when I worked there I would see people come in, and they would, it's the standard American thing. They want that one magic pill. I want to lose weight. I'm like, okay, well, what's your diet like? Oh, well, excuses. What's your exercise yet? Like, oh, well, excuses. I got kids. Okay, chase them around. Fuck, stuff like that. Now I got these kids, they just wear me down. We'll run with them, people always have excuses and they want that magic pill, but it's like a whole holistic regimen that you have to do.
It's a lifestyle, really.
It is. I mean, exactly. And what I do that I've done for years, I took a couple years off on accident, but what I've done for years is I actually make like a green shake every morning. And a lot of people talk about, oh, you juice? No, I don't juice because I don't want to drink sugar water. I want the fibers. Mm-hmm. And so what I actually do is I put everything in a blender. I put green kale, purple kale, broccoli, some spinach, some carrots, and then a little bit of orange juice, and then water, right? Yeah. And then blend it, and then just I drink the whole blender full every morning. you know, and it's amazing. No, it's good. That's what you add a little bit of orange juice in there for, and you're good to go. You know, I mean, you
Sounds
can add.
awesome. Yeah, it sounds good.
It's amazing, dude. I love it.
You do need the fiber, though. I mean, I'm glad you said that, and that's like I mean, not to start a diet debate here or anything, but like that's the problem I have with carnivores is they're so anti-fiber, and
you still need the fiber.
I think most people need some fiber, otherwise your gut's going to get out of whack. I think it's pretty rare. I think there's some people who can. All our bodies are different, you know, how we react to different things. I think some people can get away with it, and that's why you see some of these carnivores who they're able to function, they're able to build muscle, they're able to stay healthy. But I think that diet, just like the lack of fiber, because the fiber feeds all the good bacteria in your gut. You need to get
right.
Fiber.
Well, that too is that a lot of people, they'll do those juicing trends, and I tell them, I'm like, you might as well just start drinking soda every day, because that's literally what you're doing. You're just drinking sugar water. It's got some vitamins, but you're not getting the fiber, you're not getting the micronutrients, you're not getting the naturally occurring enzymes and stuff like that to break everything down within those plants. You're getting all that out.
The worst three words that have ever been lied to us is fresh from concentrate. That means all of the fiber is gone. Everything that makes that sugar work that's in it, in an apple, is gone if it's fresh from concentrate.
I thought that was to make you focus more when it was concentrate.
One of our biggest faults is that in this modern society we eat out of the box, we eat out of the can, we eat out of the processed food that we do every day.
Don't go in the middle of the grocery store. Just stay on the outside edge.
Yeah, the grocery store. Stay on the outside edge, because the inner edges or the inner aisles are the ones that'll kill you.
I would disagree with that a little bit, because on the outside edge is the bakery and the pastry department. You probably should stay the fuck away from them.
I have no problem with the bakery or the pastry department or the bread department. I'm sorry, Jack Spirko, if you're listening.
It's straight sugar. You might as well go to the bakery aisle and get a bag of sugar and just
you need to get on sourdough, Bruce. You need to start making
vegetables have carbs, you know that, right? And so does meat.
Yes, they do. Yeah. So
you don't need sugar. That's different. It's like telling somebody, well, you got to have crack in your diet. I mean, if you don't have crack, you won't get energy.
Well, exactly. Well, if you sniff it, it's better.
Yeah, that's what people like when people ask me about my diet or whatever. I'm like, I don't eat sweets. Well, you got to have some sugar. I'm like, no, you don't.
Well, you are getting some sugar. You're
getting
sugars in your green drink in the morning. You get sugar like that from fruits and vegetables. I mean, the glucose. That's how there's some functions in our brain that will not work without glucose.
Right.
But what they mean is you got to have 100 grams of sugar a day. That's what we're told. The food pyramid, right? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But you got to think about it. It's like okay, I don't eat sweets. But yeah, I do eat some rice. I eat some pastas and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But no, I don't eat sweets, because those are high concentrated sugars. It's totally different. If I eat some rice
to convert to bacon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Jason's actually, you're still on the carnivore diet, Jason?
Yes, carnivore. I'm sorry not to. I know you're talking about the whole carnivore a little bit ago, but I had to mute myself because I got another order just came in.
But you're actually on it. So
are you planning to do it long term? Because I honestly think carnivore short term, or I don't know, as like elimination diet, can be really good as like a reset. Are you planning on doing it for a long time?
I'm planning on doing it long term, and the reason why is because one, I've got celiac. So I cannot have any gluten, no barley, no spelt, none of that stuff. And I also have a gene mutation called the MTHFR, which some people call the motherfucker gene. I've got that. So
I'll tell you a quick FDA story about that after.
My body can't produce. My body cannot tolerate.
Bullshit.
Yes, that too.
Joe Biden.
Yeah, that also. Oh, Jesus! Shut up.
Osama bin Laden.
Fuck off. What is it called? What's the one thing that
Blazing Saddles?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Gluten? Are you talking about gluten? You talking about sugar?
No. What's
Folic
the one
acid?
thing? Folic acid. There you go.
There you
Folic
go.
acid. We've had the
I-
folic acid discussion before. Yes.
My body cannot tolerate folic acid, and from other people that have the MTHFR, you're supposed to stay away from all dairy as well as all sugar, and stay away from gluten as well. So it kind of leaves me along the line of carnivore. And if I do eat carbs, I notice my joints start to swell up, and I start getting fatigued and whatnot. Sorry, I got another order, so you guys are going to listen to the.
Yeah.
So John,
Another
expand
one?
on the
This is
folic acid
awesome,
because
man.
on one of your podcasts you did a episode on folic acid. I remember.
Yeah, so our overlords at the FDA, in our best interest, because knowing that pregnant women cannot on their own get vitamin B, and in order to help prevent birth defects in the children that they're carrying, women can't be trusted to get those vitamins on their own. In 1995, they mandated that all non-organic grains are sprayed with synthetic folic acid. So synthetic folic acid, because it has the shelf life, it's not going to deteriorate over time. So that's still in effect. So when you see like on a cereal box or on a loaf of bread, fortified or enriched, that's what it means. It has that synthetic folic acid added. And as Jason was saying, MTHFR gene mutation, I think plays a huge role probably in a lot of mood disorders, but definitely in autism,
Yes.
because what it is your body, people who have this mutation, and there's varying degrees of it, some much more severe than others, but all to some degree, and up to like 60% of the population has this mutation to some degree. Just most people don't test for it. You can't process that synthetic folic acid, so it builds up in the system, and it leads to all kind of issues, cardiovascular issues, stroke,
Horrible designs.
Potentially mood disorders.
Yep,
So 60% of Americans are motherfuckers. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes. Well, yeah. So I was talking to my doctor, and I'm like, "Yeah, I've got the MTHR, known as the mother effer," and she starts laughing. She's like, "Yeah, that in the field, that's what we call it too."
But you were saying that like if you eat carbs, you get like swollen joints. Your money was going crazy in your bank account.
Yeah,
so
that's
you was kind of cutting out when you were saying that.
I turned off my Outlook, so as I get more orders, you guys won't have to hear the sounds. But yeah, so I've got plantar fasciitis too, and if I eat carbs, then that gets really, really, really bad. My joints start to hurt, where my knees will hurt really bad. I start to turn into just a raging asshole. So
No.
being in carnivore,
That's what they call it, the motherfucker gene. There
Yeah.
we go.
Are you taking a methylated B vitamin?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Methyl ethyl folate or something like that. What I'm taking, plus I'm also taking
with the supplements Bruce and I take. So the multivitamin, obviously, but also the energy drink and the protein all has methylated B vitamins in it. So it's bioavailable. Even if you don't have the mutation, it's the most bioavailable form of B vitamins to take because your body can just use it easily.
Mm-hmm.
But,
one of the things that I noticed that with the supplements that I have been taking, because I've been keeping very close contact with John over some of the stuff that I've been suffering. So last 2 years I've been really having some bad shoulder pains, and got diagnosed with a little bit of arthritis up in my neck. Yeah, it happens when you get old. But the fact that you take care of your body, you take care of your gut, take care of your mind, take care of the simple things that you can with your diet without going overboard, and then exercise, which has been key, which has been very key. John challenged me. I think it was at the end of the year, or close to the end of the year, we were doing some kind of a movement challenge, if I remember that correctly.
I think I just did that was just one I kind of just shared on Facebook to do.
Yeah, we did something like that.
It was just last 60 days.
Right, the last 60 days,
just,
exactly.
That's
what it was.
do something the last 60 days. I don't care if it's going for a walk or just doing some push-ups or just do some sort of movement every day.
And at that time I could barely even, raise my arms up to here. I mean, that's how bad my shoulders were. And it got to the point where when John came up with this last 60 days, I went like, okay, I got to do this. I've got to do this. So I ended up doing girl push-ups. That's what I did. I did incline push-ups because basically I wanted to get my shoulders back into shape. And I think really most of the arthritis stuff that I have going on just happens to be the fact that I wasn't doing anything but sitting at my desk all day, clicking on my mouse, typing on my keyboard, whatever, and everything is just kind of getting stiff, calcified, whatever the case may be. So once I started doing that moving, man, it hurt like crap, man. And my goal was to get down to do actual push-ups, military push-ups on the ground. I got to that point to where I was doing it on the ground, but it just I did something again. It hurt and I had to stop. And then basically went back at the first of the year, started doing it again. But what I found out is that gradually what would happen is what happened was that the shoulder pain started going away, but it started localizing to where the actual pain was. Come to find out that it was a bulging disc in my neck. And the bulging disc in my neck was in case making that pain go to both shoulders.
I was just going to ask you if you go to a chiropractor while you've been doing that.
So not only do I do have arthritis in my shoulders, but it is exemplified with the pain because what happens is I'll do something out in the backyard. I'm working hard all weekend. Boom, I move wrong. Disc slips out of place, pinches the nerve or whatever. Boom, now I'm incapacitated. Yep. So now I've got a therapy for that. I've got a TENS device. I use the TENS device. Make sure that I stay on all my supplements and stuff. Keep eating right. But now I know how to adjust it back, how to use the TENS device to temporarily get some relief from the pain. CBD, some more natural homeopathic therapies that you could use, and trying to stay away from the store-bought painkillers and stuff like that. Although I do like Aleve.
For that too, Bruce, your inflammation is the enemy at that. I've got some neck problems like that too, and so like when things flame up like that, like staying away from sugars and carbs is super important because the inflammation that happens when you eat that stuff.
Absolutely.
In general, you can eat this stuff okay if you're not crazy with it, but the inflammation I was before we moved to this house we're in now, I was finishing up the other house, and one of the things I was doing was sanding drywall on the ceiling for the finish off this one room. So I'm like, I had the stick and I had the 10-inch deal there, and I'm hand sanding the final sand stuff because I get pretty anal with the shit. And I'm like, and I just heard it go kick into my neck, and it pinched that nerve, and it laid me out for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all the way down into my wrist.
Yeah.
John, how many
inflammation? I instantly stopped eating the sugar because we had done a keto diet for a while, and that's just lunacy. But it's good for inflammation because if you just go back to the keto, your inflammation goes down.
Chiropractor helps too, man. Like I swear by my chiropractor. Like,
I had him hook that electrical thing up to 220 and crank it up to 11. He's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Dude, just keep it coming, keep it coming."
Fucking put me in the electric chair, goddammit.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
John, John, most of the people that I see that are in our groups that me and you frequent in Facebook really have a problem with inflammation. And some of the success stories that I've seen, pictures of people before and after taking supplements and probiotics is just really astounding. How much of that just helps, and being able to give that information out to people to make them aware and a discipline of number one, taking care of your gut first, number two, changing your diet, and number three, getting exercise.
Yeah, I think inflammation, carbs and sugar are going to drive inflammation too. But also, if your body has trouble regulating its blood sugar levels, so if you're pre-diabetic or if you're diabetic, which almost all of America is at least pre-diabetic right now.
Yeah.
So the one Bruce was talking about, the pink drink before, that helps with keeping your blood glucose levels within the normal range. So it's going to help with inflammation. So people that start on that and start drinking that pink drink consistently over time, there's a compounding effect. And yeah, definitely one of the benefits is reduced inflammation. I mean, one of the drivers for like cardiovascular disease, people want to point at cholesterol and we need to, you need to eat less eggs, you need to do this, which is just absurd. It's insane.
Yes,
It's people who are pre-diabetic or diabetic, and their insulin is out of control, and that's creating inflammation in their arteries. There's other issues too, other causes, but
yeah, I was listed as pre-diabetic, and then I switched to carnivore. My doctor didn't like it, and he said he wanted to test my my blood glucose. And after a while of doing carnivore, he tested it, and he's like, "All right, stay on it," because my my blood glucose was at 83.
Yeah, John, you started doing a bunch of cottage industry type things as far as going to actually raw milk and butters and stuff like that. And I know in Pennsylvania they were kind of, that's kind of like a no poo poo industry, but stuff like that. But how's that helped you and your family?
Pennsylvania, it's actually one of the better states. There's a lot of states where you can't get it. I think California, there's only
can't even get it.
You can.
Yep.
There's two. There's two producers in the whole state of California that you can get raw milk from.
You'll have to share that information with me because I'd love to get some.
Come to Wisconsin, my friend. It's running through the streets.
But yeah, the way I have to get it, I kind of like it, like in a way, because it is kind of like, it's not black market, it's legal, but it feels black market. So like I meet this van behind a church and they have a bunch of coolers out there.
Yes.
And I get my raw milk and my raw cream and raw cheese out of there, and then I'm
first one's free.
But that has helped me, I'm convinced, with my allergies the most. I do the honey, and I'll do that during allergy season, and that probably helps somewhat. But ever since I started drinking raw milk, I've gotten no allergies at all, which makes sense. Like,
wow,
the cows are eating the grass, like they're eating all that stuff, and they're processing it, and the different enzymes and everything that are needed to counteract those allergies. I'm getting in the milk. The milk that you buy off the store shelf, it's boiled, all that stuff's dead.
Yeah, pasteurization and homogenization.
Yeah, so many things have been taken out of our food. It's amazing that there's any nutritional value left in anything. Me and Harkos, we often talk about, calorie. They have calorie dense food instead of nutritional dense food now. And, we joke around a lot about Soylent Green and stuff like that, but that's actually what is happening to our food sources, is that they're becoming more calorie dense and less nutrient dense. And the only way that me and Harkos are actually fighting it is that we're growing our own food. And on top of growing our own food, you just can't grow a seed or a plant and just hope it's going to be more nutrient dense. You have to take care of the soil that it grows in too. So you need to regenerate the soil that's been actually trashed over years and decades and that. So I mean, that's kind of where my business lies into, is teaching people how to take a old piece of soil that doesn't have any nutrients or anything left in it, regenerating that soil and then generating a plant that grows out of it, so that your carrot or your pepper or your tomato or whatever has more nutrients in it than it did 10 years ago, or even a year ago.
And there's a business in that, Bruce.
There's absolutely a business in that, and that's what I'm capitalizing on. And right now, I'm doing all kinds of content for my before stuff, and doing stuff as I'm doing it and creating this thing. And then also, by the end of the year, I'll have all my after stuff. And come next winter, I'll be actually putting a lot of that stuff together and coming out with this. Hey, this is what it was. This is what it is, and I can take you through the journey to get it there to where you need it to be. And let's get together and start growing food instead of having, this government of ours keep telling us that we can't do it, and just do it.
Well, you live in California, so I'm sure your government is telling you not to do it. But out here, we can kind of do what we want out in the country where I live. And I'm going to actually send you, Bruce, that reminded me, I think I've talked about it before, but I'm going to send the garden stuff that I shot last year to use, so you can put it on the
absolutely.
withered soul. And then I'm gonna start doing it this year as well too for the withered soul. Like I've started doing my morning walk stuff whenever I think about different things.
Right.
But yeah, man, I mean, growing your own food, that's one step, but learning how to read labels is like the best thing that I ever learned how to do. And like I'm like the soup Nazi off Seinfeld when it comes to fucking labels, right? Because I'll sit there and I'll read that shit and I'll be like, no, look at this. It's got 3 different kinds of see where they get you too is a lot of people don't notice it. For one, everybody should know if it says sugar free, that means it's got artificial sweeteners in there, right?
Yeah.
But it not only has 1 artificial sweetener, it has on average 2 to 3. Every time you see acylfulmin potassium, it's not potassium, okay? It's an artificial sweetener. It's called ACE K in short, right? And then also there is sucralose, which people don't know what that is. That's an artificial sweetener as well too. And then there is sucrose, which is like a high concentrate of sugar as well too. And it's just like, look, just get sugar. Just get sugar. Stop with high fructose. Like high fructose corn syrup is fucking poison, right? I get it. Okay, don't do that. But if you're gonna have something sweet, have it be with sugar, or honey. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Because this artificial shit, even sucralose, like that's one of the things. Whenever sucralose first was coming out, and he's getting popular after aspartame was going away, even though it's still in Diet Coke. But once they started getting all the lawsuit shit. Well, I was working at Vitamin Shop and everything. They started putting sucralose in everything. And I'm doing research on sucralose and I'm like, yo, this is going to be the next aspartame. And, even the people like my general manager was like, no, it's straight from nature. It's just like stevia and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
it's like love.
I'm like, yeah, they're like, it's like love. It's amazing, baby. And I'm like, nah, dude, this is going to be poison. And I was sitting there reading. I'm like, so sucralose, it goes through your digestive system and doesn't trigger a insulin response. Okay, but doesn't the insulin response start with your taste buds?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so if your taste buds taste something sweet, but then it starts producing insulin and there's nothing in your body to break down, isn't that the same as overusing it to break down high concentrations of sugar? You know what I'm saying?
They said
your
1%,
body
1% of the people that tried OxyContin got addicted. That's what they said. 1%.
Only 1%. Yeah, it's very low. I mean, I snort OxyContin every morning, and I'm not addicted.
Yeah, I can stop whenever I want.
I can stop anytime I want. I just don't want to. Okay, I just don't want to. Sorry.
And then your body with the sucralose. So after you have that hyper sweet food, and you got no sugar from it, your body, I need some calories. So where's all the calories came with the sweetness? So
and then you're hungry again. Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I did a little experiment with I'd cut out soda for a while and then I went back to drinking soda again. And just by keeping my normal diet of very low or basically keto at the time, started drinking soda again, and I watched my weight actually go up.
Soda's not keto.
Then,
I don't know if you know that.
Was that?
Soda is not keto. It's not.
It was sugar-free stuff. Yes. So it was sugar-free stuff. So.
Oh, well, see, then, your weight went up. Yeah. It caused. I mean, it can't not cause like some kind of inflammation response. Start having you retain water and stuff like that as well too. Like sucralose, they still put it in everything, and acylfulmin potassium. And like stevia is all right, but like, man,
that's why.
I don't know what it tastes like.
That Ace K. You know how Zen, those nicotine pouches are real big right now.
Yeah,
Ace K in all of them. I mean, they sneak it in everywhere. We went out to a Mexican restaurant this past weekend, and my daughter, she normally just wants water, but she wanted chocolate milk. So I'm sure, you get chocolate milk, whatever. And they bring out a Yoo-hoo in a can.
Yeah. And
she's like super confused. And I'm like, it's not chocolate milk, but they say it is. I mean, I knew she wasn't going to drink much of it. So
it's not really chocolate milk, babe. We're just going to play pretend. That's not really a man over there either.
She's like, milk in a can. Like, what is it? But we're looking at the ingredients. First ingredient, high fructose corn syrup. Yep. Also has sucralose in it. And The reason they do that is because they have a team of freaking scientists who are like, what is the right mix of sweeteners we can put together that make this person get super addicted to this, and they just want to keep drinking it. It's literally a science experiment that they're running on their customers. Insane.
It's insane. Yeah. I mean, they'll put, like, I've seen that as well too. And they write it asulfame potassium. So if somebody does read it, they see potassium. Okay, good. I need potassium.
Yeah.
It's so fucked up.
There's a movie called Sugar.
Like I said, I'm a soup Nazi for labels.
It was a pretty good documentary. It's put on by a bunch of far left lunatics. So by the end, you want to kill everybody in the movie. But they did explain a lot of the stuff that people don't realize. Like, 1 can of Coke has 22 teaspoons of sugar in it. The equivalent of 22 teaspoons in a can of Coke.
Yeah.
I remember being in college and being on I'd go through a 12-pack of Mountain Dew a day sometimes when we're during finals or whatever. You're just pounding it. Feel like garbage.
Yeah.
And
I like whenever they take and actually put however many grams of sugar in powdered sugar in the granulated sugar form next to the can, so if it says 26 grams of sugar in the can, you got this pile of sugar right next to it and stuff. I think that kind of helps some people kind of get it in their mind.
It's what you're doing. Sugars and everything.
Yeah, there's no escaping it. Everything, and whatever isn't sugar turns to sugar. So the pastas in the way that they've been processed, this gets back to I'm not going to do a big garden. I've done them before. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy, and you need time and energy in our state to have a garden. You never know what's going to happen. You got to have a hailstorm come and just take the whole thing out in a day, or it can freeze and go away. We're not where you are out in California. It's a lot easier.
Or to Sharknado.
The Sharknadoes also.
Yeah, the Sharknadoes, man. They leave shit everywhere, and people don't know that.
We've got really good Amish farms and Mennonite farms out here. So our little town and our little podunk town in Wisconsin on Saturdays, it goes all year long when they can. But on Saturday mornings, there's the farmer's market downtown, which is, the farmer's market in Baldwin, Wisconsin is 10 vendors. But 5 of them are Amish farms, and 2 of them are meat farms, really, grass fed, real, just here's pigs, there's grass, eat it. And then, we'll feed some pork to Harkos when he's here. But we buy their vegetables from them. It just once a week we go and buy these vegetables and stuff. First of all, the garlic they have, I don't know how they grow it, but my God, this is incredible. You can kind of taste the generational incest, but
you gotta have that. It's not
too much. You get past that pretty early. But no, everything's funny looking, because you go to the grocery store and everything's perfect because it's all genetically modified to be perfect. You go here and the onions have a little thing. Everything's a little bit odd looking, like what you grow in your own garden. And that's how I know. Usually you can tell because I've had lots of gardens in the past. And if you ever grown tomatillos, you ever grow those, Bruce?
Yeah, I've grown those before.
I love salsa, so I had salsa gardens. My God, I couldn't kill those things. We had weed and tomatillos growing in our backyard, everywhere. They'd come back year after year, and I wasn't planting, which blew my mind that they would come back because it was the only thing in the whole garden that came back.
I actually, so not last growing season, but the one before. I had some tomatoes and stuff like that I had in my fridge that they started going bad before I could actually give them to anybody or do anything with them. And so I just went and just put them out in the garden. I just put them out in the garden, and they sat there all winter, birds ate them, everything like that. Well, last summer, everything started popping up, and what was really crazy is I go through and I till, I burn out my whole garden, and then I till, and then I plant, and then I put straw around everything, right? It helps keep helps. No, it's not sacrilege, dude. My ground is awesome, but
you got Midwest dirt out here. You could it'll grow.
Exactly. You can, and it's actually good sometimes because it keeps the weeds down. But but no, I planted everything, and all of a sudden I had tomatoes start popping up in the middle of my pepper patch because that's where I put them, and tomatoes started popping up, and so I'm like, okay, let me just run an experiment. Let me go, because I'm like a mad scientist in the garden, and I started letting them go, and they start going everywhere, and I was like, okay, so why exactly do we start them as seeds in February and then not put them out until like May? You know, that doesn't make any sense. Why don't I just fucking plant them in the ground? So I'm gonna try that this year too.
Yeah, they just grow, man.
Mhm.
Because most of my volunteers will come up next month, and
Mhm.
here I am started by seed. But yeah, I know it's kind of getting late for John. I know it's almost Monday morning for you there.
Thanks, John.
And
Thank you, John.
we really want to thank you for your time,
Thank you,
John.
guys.
And you can stick around if you want, but I just wanted to close this out for you and everything else. But I think the main thing that we're trying to get to on this part of the show is just that read and be careful what you're putting in your body, and be aware that the gut and the mind, they talk to each other. And if you have any questions, you can contact me at the my link is down below. John's always available on his link, and also you can catch him on Facebook and X, I believe, formerly known as Twitter. And he's not so much on X, but he is on Facebook. But yeah, go ahead and use those resources for us. These guys, as far as they know, I'm the guy with the supplements. So the first one's free, and then I'll charge you adequately after that. But yeah, John, thanks a lot again for being here, man. I really appreciate the extra content. And
this was awesome, guys. It was a lot of fun. It's bonus too. Always enjoy talking about health and labels and motherfucker
Liberty
and all that.
Well, this is it in a nutshell, man. We really go off in the morning, so that's our X morning show, and we really that's where we really show our personalities.
Yeah, it's at 9:00 our time, John. He keeps saying the left hand path time and stuff. We're over here on the right time. We're on the right time over
That's
here.
a good time. I can do 9 a.m. regular people's time.
It's regular right hand time. That's what we got over here, Bruce.
Yeah, pay no attention to the naughty hand.
My only fan on the morning drive. So I mean, when I was doing OnlyFans,
you said you're on OnlyFans. What'd you say?
Yeah, he's got a foot page. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, you helped him clear up that foot fungus. Now he's got a foot OnlyFans. All right,
created a monster.
Harkless is the producer of this segment, so he can stop the recording whenever he wants. But yeah, I just wanted to say that before we let everybody go. But yeah.
All right. Well, I am going to drop off. I still got to post my show. So I'll see you guys. Thanks again.
We'll be listening.
Thank you, John, man. I appreciate it, buddy.
See you, John.
No problem.
Have a good night.
See ya.
All right.
Do you want me to keep it rolling or no?
No, you can keep rolling if you like, dude.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah, you're the producer of this one, dude. This is your show, baby.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, here, let me just put my face over everything then. All right, there we go. Now I can just sit here and talk the whole time. And welcome to Music Making Sense Podcast. Oh, sorry, my bad. That's my other show.
You got any Supertramp? Can you play some Supertramp?
Supertramp? No, I'm trying to be one though.
Breakfast in America.
So Bruce, this is the order that I was working on earlier.
Gotcha.
Oh, Shaq Diesel. There we go.
There we go.
I like
nice.
That one.
Nice.
This one's going to go out tomorrow.
So where are you getting all these leads? Where's it coming from?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any fucking leads right now. I'm dry.
No, the other guy we're talking to.
I'm like Bruce's weather out there. I'm dry as fuck right now.
You're the expert right now. So where are these orders coming out of?
Etsy, Amazon, and my website.
That's
Etsy
good.
And Amazon.
Three-legged stool. That's what you want.
Amazon handmade, Etsy. I also do on Walmart.com, but I don't do any advertising on that one because it's expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
really?
also on eBay too, but.
Well, I got to tell you guys this. I was at this car show, and the Speedway Speed Museum is in Lincoln, Nebraska, and it's like a 200,000 square foot museum of race cars and motorcycles and fuck all.
I will
like
correct
one
you
of the
real
best
quick.
in the
Speedway
country.
is located in Indiana, right next to Indianapolis. That's where the Brickyard is held at the
Yeah, but
Indianapolis Motor
Speedway
Speedway.
Motors is a
That's a knockoff. This is the real Speedway over here.
Yeah, I
We
know,
have a whole
but they
town
buy all
dedicated
they
to it.
build their
Okay.
cars with all the parts from Speedway Motors.
No, they're knockoffs.
Yeah, Jenkins started that back in 1946. I know the Speedway, the old Brickyard's been there since 1911, and the only time they let's get going. Anyway, long story short, there's a huge museum. This is like a big time. This was a big win for me because I talked to this car show. They had a display at the museum. They had a bunch of drag cars. Bruce, you would have loved the drag cars there. They're old 60s.
They used to be men,
Ford
now they're
factory
women.
race drag cars. Yeah, they were Ford drag cars, so they just thought they were fast. And
they were Fords. They turned into Dodges.
Yeah. But so the curator of the museum was there, and I got talking with him about this and that. I'm like, "What time do you open?" So because we're going to go up there, and on our way back from Arizona, we're going to stay in Lincoln, Nebraska one night so that I can go through the museum, the whole museum. And they just did a big 90,000 square foot addition to it. Anyway, I'm like, "What time do you open?" He's like, "Well, we open at 12." But I told him the story, I'm like, "I'm driving to Arizona, I'm driving back, I'm going to have the old car." And he's like, "Well, we're there anyway. So here's my card, email me and I'll let you in. I'll show you around before it opens." I'm like, "Well, fuck. Okay. Yes." So I gave him my information, of course, that just happened to be all my artwork information with the cars on it. And he's like, "Oh, you do this too?" I'm like, "Yeah." So we get talking. Long story short, I'm going to have stuff hanging in that museum. I'm bringing it with me when I go there. So this is a huge thing as an artist to be able to say, "Oh yeah, you can see my stuff in this museum." It's a lot better than I've been published here or published there, because I've already have the publishing things. But you can say, all right, well, if you're a car guy and you say, well, this guy's art's hanging in the Speedway Museum in Lincoln, Nebraska, the biggest, next to Peterson Museum. You're familiar with that one, Bruce? That's in California.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Next to that,
that's the Jordan Peterson Museum.
Yes.
Right.
So this is the second biggest museum of liberty. I mean, cars in the country. So Speedway Motors is legendary in the. They've been selling race car parts for 75 years. So they built this museum with all the stuff, and it's like, there's a Tucker in there, there's a Duesenberg, there's the Doane Speedster, that the original hot rod that was like the hot rod that was in hot rod movies in 1948 and 49. That's there.
So there's a Tucker. Is there any O'Reillys or Hannitys or anything like that?
No, just Tuckers.
Just Tucker, yeah. Well, Tucker's a $3 million car. I'll take that.
Go watch that movie. Go watch that movie, Tucker. It's fucking.
I've seen it before.
Yeah,
Tucker.
If you haven't seen that movie, Tucker, Chris, you should see it because it's.
You guys fucking with me? Is there really a movie called Tucker?
There's a movie called
Tucker, A Man in a Dream. You want to talk about conspiracy theories? This will solidify every conspiracy theory about the government you've ever had.
I just look at the government. They solidify it for me.
You won an Academy Award for it.
So yeah, it's a real.
Tucker came up with the guy named Preston Tucker is his name. He came up with the Tucker turret. He was an inventor, and the Tucker turret is what sat on top of B-24s and B-17s. It was the first one that you could sit there and aim and press a button, and the thing would turn around, and you could shoot down the Krauts.
Yeah.
And so anyway, he did that, and he did some other stuff. But at the end, after the war, he wanted to start his own car company. So he came out with a car that was so far advanced. The big three looked at it and went, we're 5-6 years out from getting this car out. Let's stop him. And they stopped him. They crushed his business. They destroyed his name. But he built 50 of the cars.
So they Nikola Tesla him.
47 of them are still running.
Right.
Yeah, and didn't the headlights turned when you turned too, didn't they?
Yeah, so it had 3 lights. So in the middle headlight, when you turn the steering wheel, there was the middle headlight would turn, so it would shoot around the corner, and it was rear engined, had a flat 6.
Back when they used to be creative with cars. He
tested each one to over 100 miles an hour. Had first one with seat belts, safety glass, disc brakes. 1948.
So he's a time traveler, is what you're saying?
Yeah, he was a time traveler.
Definitely.
It didn't come out till 20 years later.
Yeah, I came across a guy this morning when I went and got my oil changed. 72 freaking Malibu.
Yeah,
in the parking lot. Fucking beautiful.
Last of the good ones.
Just beautiful.
You don't change your own oil?
Huh?
You don't change your own oil?
No, fuck no.
No, I'm above that. Fuck that.
I don't have time for that shit, dude.
Jason, do you change your own oil? Or am I the only one out here that's a man?
Damn right I do. I change my own oil, change my brakes.
I don't have time for that shit, dude. I got my time's more valuable than that shit, dude. I pay some people to do stuff that I just don't want to do. So
it takes 20 minutes to change your oil.
Nah, I don't have that fucking kind of time, dude.
Yeah,
I'll pay fucking $70 to have my oil changed, but I will not pay $800 for a fucking brake job. I'll do my own brakes.
Oh yeah, I'm rebuilding my front end.
Yeah, I'll do my own brakes. I'll do my front end. I won't.
$60 to lay in the dirt underneath my car. Fuck it. Here's
dude, if I didn't have to pump my own gas, I wouldn't pump my own gas. But I had to pump my own gas.
You'll go golfing, but you won't change your own oil.
Fuck no, I won't pay my own
because of wasting time.
I've replaced my own drive shaft too.
I've built the whole car a few times.
Oh, I'm sure you have.
My wife wants.
So that's why I don't change my oil. I've got credentials.
Anyway,
actually, I don't change it because I'm lazy.
Well,
pretty much, I'm lazy too.
I change it a couple.
I just don't want to pay $800
years whether it needs it or not.
Dude, $800 for just the front end of my freaking RAV4 for freaking for a brake change. That's calipers and all that shit all included. $800.
Rock Auto, baby.
That's $1,600. That's $1,600 at the dealer.
Yeah.
Just for the front?
It's $1,300 at my private mechanic.
Yeah.
And I can do it for what, $400 or something like that. Rock Auto. And I can, and 2 hours.
On my Lincoln, I put the high performance drilled and slotted, big brakes on there, all new calipers, rotors, everything. Fucking the
on that Lincoln, that's dope.
I did everything on this Lincoln because I was like, I want to make this motherfucker stop, and it worked. So I mean, it literally has like race car brakes on it, and because going down the mountains, the brakes were heating up. They were fine, but I'm like, I want them to like,
Yeah, the mountains of Wisconsin.
All of that stuff, all of the top end stuff was only like $480.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you can stop in the mountains of Wisconsin.
I will change the oil in my
Colorado,
truck. I'm going to show you the reason why. I'm going to show you the reason why that I can change the oil in my truck. Okay, these guys, they're fucking huge, dude. They're like fucking baseball mitts. All right,
those are some fucking.
Those are some fucking big ass fucking hands, dude.
Yeah,
right?
yes, Sasquatch.
This big ass hand will not.
I got
fit.
bitch hands. Look at these little women hands.
Look at mine are all pink on the end because I'm playing bass. At least that's what I'm telling you.
I think that's from here. I think that's doing that.
Yeah,
but anyway,
gripping. We grip too much.
I don't grip. I kind of caress.
They don't fit in a Japanese car fucking engine compartment.
No.
Yeah.
So
that's
why do you have a fucking Japanese car engine compartment? Go get yourself a Delta 90 like a man.
Why is your oil filter somewhere you can't reach on a fucking Japanese car?
It's fucking pretty fucking difficult, dude.
They're always stupid.
It's difficult.
I got a fucking Kia. It's basically Japanese. It's the same thing.
Jiffy Lube. I take it to Jiffy Lube. I say, you know what?
Get the difference.
No, the same thing.
You know what? I got some stuff to go do over here at the fucking grocery store. I'll see you in 20 minutes. And boom, 20 minutes, I'm done. $70, I'm out the fucking door, dude.
My biggest problem is right next to where I work, like right next to it, like 20-foot walk is an auto shop. So hey, we noticed this and this. How much? That's $600. Let's fucking do it.
Dude, they're just like, we got a cash machine. We got an ATM right next door. All right.
They do. Because they know they got me. Because I'm like, no, I don't want to put a CV axle in anything.
I had my catalytic converter, man, done. And the guy calls me up and says, like, you know what? You got a bad fucking oil leak. You know, your valve cover gasket's all fucked up. But he goes like, it's just douching that. And he goes like, how much is it going to be? He's all like, it's about another $320. I'm just fucking do it, dude. Just do it. And I don't have to fucking worry.
I was also the guy that didn't have money and had to fix my cars for years, 20 years. I sat outside. I had an 82 Lincoln Town car that I bought for $300. Drove it for 2 years. Finally, it started leaking gas like a sieve because there was nothing left of the fuel line and the salt and sand. And so I had to get to work the next day. I went and bought a length of fuel line. I didn't buy the right one. I just bought a length of fuel line and I made my own. 20 degrees below zero. I put boxes on the sides of the car and I had a kerosene torpedo heater blowing under the front of the car.
While you're doing your gas line, yeah.
While I'm putting my gas line in.
Nice.
And it's not like, I didn't have to decompress the gas line very much because it was already leaking out most of the time because fuel inject was an 82. But I was also that guy. So for me, it's like, okay, I can afford to just fucking fix it. Like I just ordered all the stuff for the front end of the Lincoln and I told the guys next door, I'm like, give me a quote. I'll bring you all the parts. I'll sign whatever you want to sign that says that you're not, if parts fail, I'll buy new ones. I don't care. Give me the estimate of what it's going to be to replace everything. So I'm doing upper and lower control arms, ball joints, bushings, pitman arm, inner and outer tie rod ends, and idler arm. Everything. The whole front end. I've got all the parts, which again was $400. And I said, give me a quote on putting all that in. So I get to hear about that for tomorrow. Because if it's anything under than like $800, I'm not doing it. I'm saying, here, do.
Yeah. See, Harco's the same thing, dude. I used to do all that shit. I've had Japanese cars almost all my life. I've had very few American cars. I used to do my own fucking maintenance. But now it's just like how Jason says, man, if I can write a check and make shit go away, I can write a check and make shit go away. So
I guess there's that.
See, that being said, the amount of time it's taken me to rebuild the front end, I took to polish this little stupid thing that'll sit on the side of it.
There you go.
Because I got my priorities fucking straight.
Jesus
there you
Christ.
go. 64, 55, 45.
You guys are gonna shit when you see the
You'll
compressor
get there,
in my
brother.
garage.
You'll get there. You'll get there. I promise. I
the-
promise you'll get there.
The
Well, I
compressor,
hope I get there because that means I have disposable income.
You will. You will get there. You will get there. And would I've rather have spent that $340 on that fucking gasket and go play some freaking golf at some awesome spot? Yeah, I would have. But then I didn't have to worry about fucking digging into a freaking valve cover gasket. I didn't have to worry about that. And I save these for my guitar.
Mm.
See, I don't like doing maintenance. I like doing hot rodding. So like I won't even think twice about pulling the whole motor and tranny out of the goddamn thing and pulling it down and rebuilding it and putting it back in. I won't even think twice about that. But fuck you, change my oil.
You got all kinds of good content for a new intro now, so I'm good. I'm good with this. Harkos,
What are you going to put me on there, Harkos?
You can take everything from when John Odermatt quit the podcast and use this for all kinds of freaking intros.
Put Jason on there as soon as we get some sound bites from Jason.
No, he's our mute partner. That's all.
I did a few of the last one with the bonus episode with Shane Hazel.
God,
there we go. That. Yeah.
There's some good ones there.
Yeah. Do I need to write another check, Harkos? Is that what I need to do?
No, I mean you can do that too, but like I'll put it on.
He can do it if he changed his own fucking oil.
Yeah, if I change my own oil, I can edit some video. I mean, fuck, come on now. It's not like I'm out there playing fucking a whole day worth of golf, just wasting my life away.
Chris,
what do you mean? What?
Golf is a waste.
Golf.
You chase it.
Yeah, exactly.
Golf, it just ruins perfectly good rifle ranges.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it does.
Absolutely does. Yeah, it's almost as waste of a time as watching people just go in a left-hand circle all day. Just drive. Left turn.
Just let you know, Cody Rhodes took out Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship.
So what, they went out to dinner or they go breakfast?
WWE, the WWE Undisputed World Champion is now Cody Rhodes. Okay, so we're talking about that tomorrow morning.
That'll be a good talk. I'll have a lot to add on that one.
I gave up my WrestleMania Sunday for this podcast. So I sacrifice for all of us, man. So
you sacrifice watching a bunch of dudes who are sweaty wrestling around in a match.
I'm gay like that, dude. I'm gay like that. If you want me to fucking say it, I'm gay like that.
And there's the new intro.
Oh, Bruce McGee. I'm gay like that.
Marcus is all like, "What time was that at?"
Yeah, mark that down at 1:08:10.
Let me take a picture of the fucking screen real quick.
There we go, right there. Wasn't that's like Lottie's Lady Gaga said made this way or some shit like that? You can be like, I'm gay like that.
Exactly.
That's good.
I'm like that.
Were you saying something before he started talking about how gay he was, Ken?
No. Well, I probably was, but I forgot it. It came out of my mouth.
We could talk about Ken's red palms. I mean, we can do that too. So, yeah.
Rosie Palm and her 5 friends.
Yeah, there we go.
No, I told my wife because she's not gonna listen to the show, and
why she does?
They just don't. She'll be part of it anytime she's here. Just she won't want to be, but she just will be. But I told her about when we were talking about the transgender stuff. If a bunch of dudes just said, all right, we're just going to go where they all are and they congregate and just do that same thing. And then it won't be cool and it'll all go away. And she's like, oh, you should do that with your art. Can you imagine how much you'd sell? I'm like, fuck. No, this wasn't an idea.
I mean, yeah, I mean, fucking sales, man. Sales.
So when you guys come out, we're gonna go to the 50s in the car show, but I'm gonna be a pinup girl the whole time.
There we go.
I don't know if I want to see that.
Figure out which one, who is who.
Yeah.
Well, to figure out who is who, I mean, are you going to dress up like Logan?
I'm speechless now.
Yeah, I tell you would have to, because my daughter actually goes as a pinup girl, and she won the inaugural pinup girl contest at Back to the 50s. She won it.
Dang, there you go.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is a fun part of the show, because there's a bunch of photographers that bring their girls there, that they're all done like pinup girls, and they go around and take pictures and do stuff. There's a few dudes that do it too, and that makes it a little bit weird. But if they're there, we have to talk to those guys.
Yeah.
Tell me,
we'll bring the girls with us.
Dylan Mulvaney's not going to be there, is he?
Who?
Dylan Mulvaney.
That one dude who likes to wear a dress.
Yeah.
No, he wouldn't show up at this thing.
I would hope
Bud
not.
Light dude.
Yeah, he would.
Bud Light dude.
That wouldn't go well for him at the car show.
No, it wouldn't. For sure.
Yep. All the Union Democrats out there would not like that at all. You didn't hear from the Union Democrats about that whole thing, but they'd kill him.